Hello and welcome to Marketing and Motivation Mondays with Monica Marie Jones. I am your host, author, motivational speaker, blogger, and advocate of all things literary, Monica Marie Jones. I'm broadcasting to you live tonight from Detroit, Michigan at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Michigan Literary Network Radio. And we have a wonderful show in store for you today. I just have a really great feeling about today's show. I don't know why. Maybe it's because our switchboard is full of callers. I'm so excited to see, as well as our chat room. So I'm so glad to have you all listening. Thank you. And as always, we are going to start our show with some book marketing on a budget tips. Now, we have expanded to not just book marketing, but also business marketing. When I say on a budget, I mean tips that are extremely affordable, cheap, or our favorite, free. Then we're going to go into our motivational segment where we share motivational tips to help you stay encouraged. Because as we know, being an author or an entrepreneur is not an easy thing. And it's so easy to get discouraged. And it's so easy to get bogged down by negative energy. So we are going to share some tips that will keep you motivated. We have a special treat today because we had several of our listeners and our readers send me tips, marketing tips and motivational tips. So I will be shouting them out. I will be sharing their tips, and I'll be letting you know a little bit about their businesses and their books. We have an awesome guest today. Our guest today is Jah X. He is a poet, and he has the mission of uplifting, encouraging, and inspiring women. So not only will we be inspired and educated, we will also be entertained because he will be performing some poetry live. So without further ado, let's jump right into this show, which we, by the way, have extended to an hour because we've been having so many callers and so many awesome things to talk about that we decided to extend the show. Now, before I begin, I want you to grab a notebook, grab a pen or pencil, grab a journal, grab your laptop, whatever you need to grab, because we're going to have some awesome information today and some awesome quotes that you may want to write down and take away. Now, my first marketing on a budget tip is this idea I came up with today. And at first I was going to make it top secret classified. Then I said, wait a minute, that's not my way. And that's not the way we should be. When we have some good information, let's go ahead and share it. Now, maybe if you have like a secret patent or invention or something, you might want to keep that to yourself. But if you have some good information, you're going to share it. And let me tell you why I'm going to share this one. Do you remember those book order forms that we used to get when we were in elementary school? I believe it was by Scholastic. Either way, it was like this little thin sheet, couple folds of paper, and it had all of these books that you could choose from. You could order, bring in your money, and turn it into your teacher. I used to love those order forms. And I said, well, hey, why don't we have those for adults? And this is not just specific to books, but I'll break down the books first. Create an order form with all of your books. Perhaps, make it color, get a graphic designer to really spice it up, and then include other authors or other products. And you can pass those forms out at businesses and companies, particularly those that have tons of staff. And then you can go collect those order forms. And there you go. You're marketing your product and you're making money and you're getting the word out. Now, another thing that you can do is use that for your business. I actually got this idea from a good friend of mine, Monique Welch of Elan Entertainment, Elan Events, and Chocolicious. She sells the most delicious chocolate covered strawberries, and she created order forms for people to pass out at their jobs. So kind of like the candy sale forms we used to do when we were kids. Pass those out, have people take orders, and then bam, you're marketing your product, you're spreading the word, and you're making money while you're at it. So that is my first marketing on a budget tip. Use those order forms. My next tip is kind of related, and it's called associate programs. Now, a lot of websites have associate programs like Amazon.com, where if you sell your books through their website or through any other medium, you can get a cut or a percentage of the profit. Why not do that with your books, your products, and your services? I'll speak about the books first. As authors, particularly self-published authors, we get all of our books at a discounted or a wholesale rate. So why not add a couple of dollars to that? Let's say you get your books for $2 a book. Add a couple dollars to that and give your friends and family or business associates or open it to the public the opportunity to buy those books from you at $5 a book, and they can sell it at anything up to the list price. So, for example, my books are a list price of $15.95. If I'm paying $2 a book, I sell it to people for $5 a book. They can sell it for anything up to $15.95. It's totally up to them. And you can increase that number or decrease that number, perhaps based on the volume of books. Say if they're buying more books from you, maybe you can make it a lower number. And, if they're buying less books, make it a high number. Either way, it's a win-win situation. You're hitting markets and people that you might not otherwise have hit, and you are marketing your book and making money. So that's the associate program. You can do the same thing with services. For example, we have the Motown Writers Network annual conference. It's called the Essence of Motown, a literary jam and conference. That's coming up the second weekend of November. We have it set up to where if you sell memberships, well, not memberships, but if you sell conference packages to readers and writers and authors, you can sell it through your own personalized link through Eventbrite that we'll provide for you. And if people buy their conference tickets through you, you get a cut of that money. Now, again, a win-win situation. So that marketing tip is called an associates program, and that is where you have other people sell your stuff. You put some perks in it for them, but they're marketing your product. They're reaching audiences you might not otherwise reach, and you're both coming out as winners. Now, those were my marketing tips. Next, I'm going to share a few marketing tips that I got from some of my readers. The first one is from our special guest today, Jah X, and he said to support local outlets that allow expressions of the arts. You can promote your product there. And now here's where I want you to get your pen and paper out. This is a quote that I pulled from what he said. He said, "Success and popularity breeds support and opportunity." And that is so true. A lot of times, people wonder what the secret is, how I sell books, how I'm getting my name out here in lots of major areas and outlets and networking. And it really is about being popular. I mean, not to sound like that. I hated the whole popular scene in high school or whatever, but get your name out there, and not in like a snooty way, but meet people, build relationships, go out to these events, talk to people. Okay, when you're popular and people see that you're successful in what you're doing, that breeds support and opportunity. I can't tell you how many people have bought my book just because they've seen my face so many times online or at these events. They see what I'm doing. And believe it or not, there are a lot of people out here that are positive and that are happy to see other people being successful. So I'm going to say that quote for you one more time. Write that down. Success and popularity breeds support and opportunity. That is oh so true. Our next marketing on a budget tip is from Kelvin Emmanuel, all the way from Nigeria. Kelvin is in Nigeria right now, and he sent this tip just for our show. Okay, Kelvin Emmanuel said that you could design a customized column for both a product or service-based business, especially service-based businesses. This column gives information on industry standards, future trends, expert analysis, basic education of a particular field. And then he went on to say that it's advisable to partner with a premier business paper, either local, district, or national. He said that it has a way of positioning the brand and attracting clients. And it's based on the law of leadership that says, get your pens out, leaders touch a heart before they ask for a hand. I'll repeat that. Leaders touch a heart before they ask for a hand. And again, that's Kelvin Emmanuel from Nigeria. And he is working on his first book, which will be published in the UK this fall. And the title is China Will Not Rule the World. So in essence, he's saying create a column, and of course we have the newspapers, but now we have blogs. So if you have a book about lawnmowers, you want to, reach out to the magazines and the newspapers that deal with home care and that deal with communities, and you want to have your, your column about weekly lawn care. So create a column or a blog that is, specifically going out to that target market that surrounds your book or your business or service. You're an expert on it, and that way people are reading about you weekly. You have your little byline so they know where to support you and where to buy your book. Our next marketing on a budget tip is from Stefan Parker. He says, utilize your fan page on Facebook. Now, if you don't already have a fan page and you are